Hello, and welcome to the Bookworm Bindery. This is Cathy-Lynn, and I have been gone from YouTube for a long time, like 2 months. So this is a Finish It Up Friday, and I thought that what I would do was do a video for Finish It Up Friday, because I'd like to think that today I'm finishing off my hiatus from working on books and junk journals. And you can see this mess. So this mess is somewhat organized now. Things aren't where they belong, but I've sorted through everything and I've found everything. Well, I've found lots of things. And so I'm going to chat with you while I kind of show you what's going on and what I'm hoping to accomplish on my Finish It Up Friday for the holiday hiatus, although it's into that end of the first week of February, so no holidays here. Okay, so let's see. One of the things that I found myself doing a lot of yesterday was just taking out the things that don't belong here, because things do get brought in, and pretty soon there is, just nail polish and bracelets and I don't know, all kinds of things that just got set here. Some things got thrown in here over the Christmas holidays because there were extra people to feed, so we had to have space. And most of that stuff got taken out probably by the second week of January. But some things didn't. So that's what I started with yesterday. And the pile was so high in here because I just kept tossing things onto the table. And I have a little card table set up behind me where I use that to set things as they're drying or the things I'm going to be needing next. And handy thing. So that's been straightened up. It's pretty piled high, but it has been straightened up. So I'm throwing things. So what have you been up to? Have you gotten all of your, I don't know, quiet time out of the way and the recuperation from the holidays? Is that taken care of? It pretty much has for me. Had a health scare with my mom about a week and a half ago, and that resolved nicely, which is always a good thing. And let's see, what else? I don't know what else. Just life getting in the way, I guess. So let's see. I'm sort of just making more neat piles over here to the side. Let's see, what have we got here? Oh, it's a shout out list. I'll just stick it over there. So let me see. This is a bit off of a lace snippet. That was a great idea that I got from Tina, Shabby Dabby Doodah. And let me roll away from you for a second. Put it in a little storage cabinet that I got it. I don't know where I got that one. Might have come from Michael's. Oh, finger cots. I'm going to need those in a minute. These are some leftover odds and ends from Halloween and witch type books that I got done, or that got orders for, and now they've been delivered. So then one of the things that my friend Stephanie, who, if you have seen the video on I think it's the mermaid book, there's like 10 of them or something, episodes in that. So that, Stephanie, she brought me some fabric remnants from something that she cut out. And there's actually two different kinds. There is this Simplicity kind of retro 1950s dresses. So there was a bunch of these pieces. And so I took some wayward board. I don't know. It's like what you get from cereal boxes or something like that. These were actually dividers in cat food or canned goods. And I just glued them with my Fabrifix. I just put glue on the board and then laid this out and then cut them out. This was a nice piece. It was kind of had sticky outy wobbly things, so I cut it into a pocket. So this will go in something. But then I'm looking at these pieces, and this is it. You know, this is the size. This is the biggest size I've got. And I had come across some book blanks that I had done. They're small. They're out of the bits and pieces left over from doing bigger books this fall. And just grabbing them to bring them over. So for this one, for instance, Harry Potter theme. It's kind of an odd size, so I'm making some kind of an odd sized book. So I've gotten it covered, and still haven't done the inside part. But this is some fabric that I had bought at Michael's, and it had the house symbols. And so I cut out a few to put in this book, that journal, once it's going. Little patches or some such. And then this is a patchwork piece. It is made out of Harry Potter fabric, Fantastic Beasts, and Harry Potter. And then here are a couple more of those patches you can see. So it came with the 4 house emblems. It's not quite the right word. And then I had a cool little sky and a roaring dragon. So I just kind of pieced that. Now it needs to have the inside papers put in it. I'm not going to finish these today. Here was another piece of this dragon fabric. So that has to have the insides taken care of. Well, it has to finish being glued. So then there was this one. And it hadn't been set aside for anything. And I thought, well, if I'm careful about how I fold this, let me turn it back over. You can see that this has got a really narrow spine. So I'll probably end up putting, I don't know, 1 or 2 signatures in. Honestly, I was thinking about 1. Maybe 16 papers would end up with 64 pages. So here we are, these pieces. I'm going to end up having an overlap seam, and I'll cut the fabric so that there's not a lot of bulk. Then I thought, well, I need something to cover that with. So there was some rickrack. And I thought, perfect. Rickrack was very popular in the 50s on dresses as trim. You might have seen them around the bottom of a skirt or on the arms or even around the neck. So that will end up covering up the seam where I pieced these two together. So that I played with till, I don't know, 2 in the morning last night. So that is definitely on my list of things to work on today. And of course, then I just have like this that I brought out for the book. But I have things like, I have some Harry Potter stickers, different kinds. And I brought them out so that I could use them in these little Harry Potter books. So I don't want to put those away. I don't know what I'm going to do with this packet. It's a cool packet. It's got 4 full-size sheets of paper. They're on cardstock. And I just don't know if I can bring myself to cut them up and use them. So we have be kind, be honest, be daring, and be wise. And like I said, they're kind of a nice cardstock. Not sure what I'm doing with them. So they're going back in the bag, and I'm going to put them in the file cabinet with other papers to be used. And then at some point, I may figure out something. If you have a good thought, you should put it in the comments below. Yeah. Might be nice to have a little help here, guys. All right. Then I had some paper. I don't know what it was out for. It looks like I have a list of things to do. Bright pink. Not necessarily colors that I'm comfortable working with. I think my dad's girlfriend gave them to me. She used to do a lot of letter writing, pen paling. She sort of cut back on that a bit. She's in her mid-80s and slowing down a little. Okay, I am going to take a brief break here. I can hear my coffee pot is ready, and I need to go pour a cup. I'll be right back. Okay, that didn't take too long. It was really quick for you guys. If we could just pause life, that would be great. So got my cup of coffee, and I thought I would show you that it's Christmas gnomes. My cousin Beth bought a set of plates and cups like this. It's like, I don't know, dinner plates and either salad plates or some such, and these mugs. This was a couple of years ago. And my mother loves them. And she said, she's in her mid-80s. She says, I'm not going to just use them at Christmas. I'm already old. I don't have that many more years. I'm going to keep them out and use them year-round. So sometime in last year, probably in July or August, Beth had come by and she walked over, get herself a glass of water and look in the cupboard to see if the Christmas things were really out. And they are. Yesterday, my mom had to run to the store and she said, oh, she was so cold. So she grabs a sweatshirt and she goes, well, I guess a Christmas sweatshirt isn't really timely for the 5th or 6th of February. She goes, but I'm cold and it's warm. And as I was pouring my coffee, I thought, why not wear a Christmas sweatshirt in, the beginning of February? Because we're still drinking out of Christmas cups and eating off of Christmas plates. So I guess we're just into Christmas. Okay, next thing that's here is just a file folder that's got some odds and ends of papers that were left over from what I was cutting out and working on a couple of junk journals. And so I just have it labeled as paper cutoffs, and I like to go through there periodically and do, a master board, or sometimes just pull some stuff out when I'm working on mask making envelopes or pockets. And it doesn't matter that it's Christmas or that it's a witch or that, it's steampunk or anything. Because if I don't use it now, it just goes into the Sterilite style shoe boxes or shoebox style Sterilite boxes. Oh, I'm not sure how that goes. And, can be tucked away until next year. If I get enough of them, I put them in a pack that I can put out for sale. So this was a medical paper that came from something. And I kept it. Oh, it was a medical study I was in, and this piece of paper tells you how to use the prepaid visa that they give you your pay for those kind of studies on. And that's a lot of words. Let's see. Yeah. All of this site is in English. All of this is how to use a debit card. All of that. Tiny, tiny letters. The page is big. Let's see. What does it tell me here? It is a 11 by 17 piece of paper with charts. Okay. And then the back side is all in Spanish. Who knew using a debit card could entail this much information? But I saved this because I actually had another one as well. And I think what I had done, I think I'd cut it in half this way and put it in maybe a medium journal. So let me fold it up so that you can see. Like, it's about like that. And then it got folded in half. And nope, it didn't. It was folded in half. So just pretend this is half the width. So it got bound in the signatures, and then these just got folded into the width of the book so that they could then fold out and have more place. And I don't even remember. I don't know if I put pockets on it or put a collage of some sort over it. Something. Used it as a background. Maybe I just put some plain pink paper on it so it could be written on for people who actually journal in their junk journals. And then this again, just things that were left over. So I cut out the words I needed from that. Now what I need to do is cut them out and actually put them in something. Like, well, I have a words container, you know, like on a Finish It Friday. And then I just have pages. This one, there was a video where I did pages where I covered the back of pages, or the page that was sort of boring, with crumpled up tissue. And it's nice. So I have a bunch of different stuff in here. Just odds and ends. And really, here's a Halloween book. Stuff. No, it was right side up. I wonder if that's what all of this is. All ready to make another Halloween or witchy book. That's what it looks like. Ah, here we are. Yeah, and this was going into a full-size book. So it would have just ended up being, you know, in here like this. Pretend that's neat and tidy. And then this would be folded back. So, yeah, that's interesting. So apparently I have everything I need to throw together another witch, or this kind of has Harry Potter vibes. These would be cut down and used for something. Okay, so that's kind of what that stack was. It is still a stack because look, ta-da, it's a stack. So I guess maybe I do want to keep this stuff in it because it says herbs and spells and academy and astronomy, and it doesn't. It says astrology and crystals and however one says this word. I say it grimoire. I've heard people say it grimoire. I don't know. And you know what? I don't think I care. Everybody can say it how they want, I guess. That's what my friend Holly says. She says, it doesn't matter how you say things. I suppose as long as people understand you, that's probably the important thing. Okay, so I'm going to actually put these things on the table behind me. Because now that I see that this stack is actually meant to be something, or if not meant to be, can be instantly turned into meaning something, I'm not going to just shove it in a drawer. So we're coming up on 20 minutes. So let me at least get started on finishing this book. We'll go through the process. It was obviously a little bit short on at-hand clips because I used a hair clip. It worked just fine. Now, the other thing that I have right here is, well, it's a Godiva Christmas tin from chocolates from a couple of years ago. Today, it holds silk. I guess these are hem tape that have been crumpled up. So this might be, or bias tape, I'm not sure what it is. But this might be something that would be nice to use as bookmark in here, or, you know, like a bookmark. We're going to leave it at that. I usually, once this is all taken care of, you know, it's all been glued down nice and neat, then I put a piece of fabric in here that ends right here. So I like to take, we'll just pretend right now, I don't want to get that tin open again. If I was going to use this rickrack, which I'm using on the spine, I could glue it here, then glue the inner seam fabric, the inner spine fabric on, but this would be under it, and then it gets brought down, can be put into a page. Yeah, as if you don't know what bookmarks are like and how to use them or put them in a book. I think you do. And if you didn't before, you do now. All right. So, oh yeah, I even used a paper clip I was desperate enough for. Okay. So, this figure, oof, I've got you really high up. That was just so you could see my mess. I'm going to move you. You might want to close your eyes for a second if you get dizzy. I'll tell you when to open them. Oh, might try opening them now. Oh, I just hit that. Okay, I think I'm straightened out. Okay, so in these, the 4 dresses are this white, looks like polka dot and blue dress, this blue gingham dress, and then this white dress with blue flowers on it, and this red dress. So I was trying to get each of the dresses on. There's obviously going to be some additional odds and ends. It's a little tricky because the fabric is small, and to have it enough fabric to turn over here, she's actually going to lose some of her shoes. Part of her shoes will go down, because otherwise, if I got her whole shoe here, the fabric wouldn't be enough to wrap around. And if I ironed this, then I would know exactly how far this goes. By that statement, I think you can guess that I'm not going to be ironing it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the book board, and then I'm going to lay it down carefully and then turn it over and cut away the parts that I don't need, because when I had it laid out, I folded this under, but I don't want that additional bulk, because then the other piece couldn't be folded under, and that would be a mess. So let me get my glue. So I followed Pam at the Paper Outpost's great idea of using these super easy to squeeze sweet Sugar Bell icing bottles to put the, I'm losing my words here, the Fabri-Tac in. And I was just using this red tack to keep it closed. And I used red because I figured it's easy to find. It's easier to find than the clear ones. And then one day, one of my friends did mushrooms and toadstools. And I was playing around with that with hot glue. And I ended up forming it onto my tack. So now the tack does not, or the push pin does not get lost easily. All of that. What a bunch of nonsense. Okay, let's move this aside. It's a little cold in here. So the glue is chilled and it doesn't want to move fast. So I'm going to heat it up with my hand. So you may be hearing a little quiet whirring in the background. And I do want to share with you because I think it's adorable. A few years ago when I was at Fry's Grocery, might know it as Kroger, but they're called Fry's here. They had their Halloween decorations out, and it's the best way to do this. I'll just bring it over. They had these battery-operated cauldrons. I'm going to do this because now you're way close.